Hello viewers on YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Born IT System, and today we're going to be talking about data types in JavaScript. On our series, we have been continuing to learn about JavaScript, and today we're going to start learning about JavaScript data types and variables. And programming is all about data, and data is information that we store in our computer program to be used by our application. An example of the data we might need when we are collecting users' information is name, age, email address, phone number, etc. In any programming language, there might be different data types, but in this lesson we will look at three types, and which are most and commonly used, which are numbers. And basically numbers are used to represent numbers, example, an age, an item price in a shopping cart. And the second data type is strings, which is just used to present text, maybe a name of somebody, an email address, or a mailing address. Then the next one, or the third one, we have the Boolean, used to present conditions. Values can be true or false. And an example would be when you are writing your program in your application, you might want to do a decision making. Let's say you are writing an automation for self-driving vehicle, and you want to kind of have conditions for left and right, or going down the hill or going up the hill. So you will use a Boolean, which is basically a true and false in JavaScript. And variables, JavaScript lets you give names to variables. Let's say you have a phone number, so you're gonna give a name to it. Variables it's like a box where you fit in one thing. So you might have a phone number, and then you have the phone number, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And naming convention we use is a camel case, which means if you have a variable like a phone number, so you have a lowercase phone, then the number you have capital or uppercase N, which is like having, how you have a hump of a camel. So it starts from down, goes up, forms like a hump, then it goes down. So I would have something like phone number, then let's say you have phone number, name, something like that. So that's the naming convention we use. And then we use constant, variable, and let to name our variables in JavaScript. So for example, in this case, constant used for naming variables that do not change or reassigned. What I mean is this. So if I have a variable like this constant, and this constant is a keyword, and if you try to name a variable using it, JavaScript might throw up an error. You are using a reserved keyword. So let example, you have cons phone number equals to that, and then on here you try to reassign your variable phone number, which is a constant, to a different phone number. And in most of programming languages, we have cases whereby we reassign variables to different variables based on different conditions or functions you are trying to do. So if you try to reassign the constant phone number to this number, which means your phone number will be changed from this to this, you're gonna get an error. Let's just say an example here. You try to run this one, and you get an error, type error, assignment of constant variable. So that's not allowed. So when you assign a variable a constant, it's gonna stay the same as you use it in your application, and it will never change. The next thing we can use is the let. And let I kind of use it when I want to reassign variables to a different value. So let's say I'm getting phone numbers from an input field on a form on a website. When I have this one as a default phone number in my application, after receiving the phone number from the user's input, I may reassign the phone number to the phone that was received in the phone. But in this case here, I'm just hard coding the phone number that I want to change to. And then I can display it down here using the console.log, the phone number. Or even without that, we should see the program running without any error. And here if we try it, you can see there's no error like the way we did for the const. But if I wanna show the output to show that it really did change, then I will run and console it out, and you see this one changed to the new number we are reassigned to. That's what it means, reassigning variables in JavaScript. So for me, this let was introduced in the new JavaScript, which is the next gen JavaScript ES6. And if you wanna go the old school way, which still works, use var. Var works like let, and it allows you to just assign a variable there. Then you can even reassign another variable on it, and it will work by reassigning the variable other than the one at the top there. So in this case, if we try to run this one, we get the new phone number reassigned and not the default one. And if you want to just show the default and you try to run, so we clear our console, then try to run it. And the other thing I will just point out is I'm using VS Code for running or coding my JavaScript, and I have installed the extension called Code Runner, which helps me to run the JavaScript from my command line, or from the VS Code itself, sorry. And if you want to run from your command line, you would come and get that. Just wanna, so I will copy that and put it on my path where I'm running my application, and do so I'm already there, and then cd into data types, and then I have that file there. So I'll do node that, and you can see, so node is a JavaScript runtime environment which helps you to run JavaScript files on the command line other than running on the browser on the web application. So you can see this output here is the same what we have here. And you can see if I minimize this and try to run this one here, this should give us an error. You see the same error we got from the previous part. So we have two different ways you can run JavaScript from VS Code: by installing the Code Runner, which helps you to run multiple languages, or you can do it via the command line. Make sure you cd using the command line to go into that folder where you have the file, and then you just type in node, and then the name of the file with the .js as extension. When you hit enter, it executes the JavaScript code. Make sure that you install Node.js on your machine to be able to run this, and it's easy by going to Node.js .org and download the Node.js version based on your machine. So for me here, it automatically detected that I am on a Windows machine in the 62 or 64-bit, so comes there. When if you are on a Mac, it might give you that option to run on a Mac, or you go to the download section and you will get all the installation for Mac OS. You have the Linux and all the system you need. And that's for all today, and I will have the last video on this section on data type part 2. See you all there. Thanks.